Welcome to another episode of Visibility Era, the podcast. If you love Emily in Paris, you're going to be obsessed. Obsessed with this episode. I'm basically talking to a young Sylvie today. I couldn't be more excited. We actually met at the wedding that I was at in Buenos Aires. So the Buenos Aires lore continues. Carolyn Baqué, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to talk with you. It's a bit weird, we met at a wedding and now we are doing your podcast. So I'm really happy.
Me too. I feel like well, number one, thank you, Alex, for sitting us next to each other. It was
Yeah.
definitely not an accident. But Caroline is the co-founder of 22 Agency, which is a new PR firm focusing on image PR. She represents athletes with soul and strategy. She has over a decade of experience in PR, which me too, but totally different areas of PR. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But we mostly connected on the fact that she also is a spiritual wellness girly. And me and Bridget talk about that a lot because it's really important to us in our lifestyle. We talked about a silent retreat that she went on. And my mind was absolutely blown. I'm like, I was supposed to meet this girl. So let's start with, where should we start? I'm like, there's so many
It
different
happened
areas.
for no reason. I think it was meant to be.
It was definitely meant to be. Like, I just feel like I met a soul sister right away. So let's
You
start
are
with, right? Hearts everywhere. Let's start
from
with,
Miami to Paris. Yeah.
oh, I
My
forgot
God,
Zoom does like the hearts. It's so funny.
it is.
It's so funny. Let's start with, I guess, your background. Let's start with your background in PR, and then I think we'll naturally move through. But you mentioned that you were a sports journalist, and I was blown away as well because you said that you worked the Rugby World Cup in 2023, which is crazy cool.
It
I
was crazy cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy cool. So start with your PR background, and then I'm sure we'll naturally weave in all the wellness stuff.
So, like you said, I began with a sport journalist. When I was 16, after I stopped dancing, I wanted to work in the sport industry. I mean, it was sport or fashion.
Yep.
Like my dream was to be Anna Wintour, but at some point I knew it wasn't possible. So I said, okay, like my dad was really into rugby, and me, I was really into football. French football, not American football.
Yep.
And I don't know, like I said when I was 18, I said, okay, I want to learn journalism, but sport journalist. I knew it was that. So yeah, it was 4 years of studying journalism, but I did a lot of internship in sport industry, but like on TV because I wanted to be a sport journalist, but on TV. So yeah, for my 24, when I finished my study until 30, I was journalist in the comment, sorry, I'm going to speak French, in the audiovisual parts,
Yep.
so radio, but also TV. And yeah, when you're a woman on TV, it's really complicated, like really. It's not a cliche. It's really like when you arrive, they say if you're not good, there is like 10,000 more who wants to be to your place. So if
Yep.
it's not okay, you can leave. So yeah, it was 4 years, a bit of I don't know. I was happy on TV, but when I came back home, I was like, this is my dream.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to be, a sport journalist on TV. And I don't know, I felt sad. I was like, I don't know, I wasn't happy.
Mm.
And when I was 30, I need to stop that. I'm not happy. It's not my dream. Like, I wanted to do it. I did it.
Yeah.
So at some point, I was like, oh, come on. Like, but I don't know. I knew it wasn't for me. Maybe my place wasn't in front of the camera, but maybe behind.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stop, but I didn't want to stop journalism. So I worked for the press and I don't know, for a year. And then COVID arrived and a lot of time to think. And I said, okay, I want to be a PR, but I want to be a PR in fashion. And everyone say, yeah, but you come from sport, and it's not because you don't like working with guys. Do you think in fashion it's better with girls? I don't know. It's complicated. And I was like, okay, maybe I can stay in the sport industry, but going back from journalist to PR, it's a bit weird for the French mentality.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I had like after the end of the first lockdown, it was in June 2020. Someone who I used to work on TV called me and said, "Oh my God, Bernard Laporte." So Bernard Laporte is was a very important guy in France in the rugby world. He need a PR. And I was like, oh my God, so good, but I don't want to be back in the sport industry, in the guys industry. And I said, you have to do it. Like, it's a campaign, it's for 3 months. You want to be a PR, it's after lockdown. Like, do you have another job? And I was like, okay. And I called my dad, and my dad, who is really a huge fan of rugby, said, if you don't do it, I'm not speaking to you anymore. Okay, okay.
Simmer down.
So so I did it, and I spent I think it was the three best in the professional world, but my three best months. Like, I don't know, it's not because of football or rugby. I think it's because the fact like I was behind the camera, it's not the same like giving some advice to people. I don't know, I felt good, I felt happy. I was scared because I did it once like 10 years before, like 7 years before, but I was like, okay, come on, it's your time. It's your time to shine, but not in front of camera, but next to this important person, because Bernard was really important. And I don't know, I knew it was meant to be like it was my, I don't know, my career, like my job, my good job. I don't know what to say in English, but you know what I mean. Like I knew it was meant to be, I was at the right place. And it felt so good because maybe the last 10 years, I was like all the time, like, do you think it's a good job? Do you think I need to push the door again and again to be a sport journalist? Like, and at some point, right now, it felt really good. So I was like, okay. So for 3 months, I was with him, and at the end, so he said to me, they're going to be a World Cup in France. So in 2023, and they're going to need a PR for sure. So I said, okay, go. And a month after, I had like 2 or 3 meetings with the big CEO of the World Cup. And yeah, it was the beginning of 3 years of a crazy, crazy 3 years, but it was like so nice. And yeah, it's been 15 months, 15 months since the World Cup is over. And after that, I wanted to leave for 3 months. I wanted to leave because these 3 years was really intense. Like, you know how to be a PR, but for World Cup, for the organization, for 20 teams, it was like I gave my life during 3 years. So it was a bit too intense. Very cool, but also very hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to live and to live by myself for 3 months. So I think we're gonna speak about that later. And then I don't know, when I came back, I knew I wanted to open my agency. And
Yeah.
that's so I met a girl who is my associate now. And I don't know, we met during the World Cup, and I don't know. Now I knew it was the right time to do it. I'm ready to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all of that. I find it, I see myself in your story because I also similarly was in a field and then thought that that was my dream, got there and had an existential crisis because I was like, I hate this, but like I thought this was my dream. So, same with you. I went to music PR, same but different, where I was like, I want to be in music. This is it. I built my entire resume towards that. I interned for big record labels. And then when I actually got there and was representing top artists, I burned myself out and I didn't love it. And so, anyway, I love that you had the courage to reinvent yourself and decided, okay, this is just not the right fit for me, and knew when to call it quits because a lot of people just decide that's their career and they suffer for the rest of their lives. And it's like, we don't have to do that. We always have a choice. It's not going to be an easy route, but I think when you listen when you listen to your intuition, things kind of fall into place. So like of course, this rugby position kind of opened up for you and then you went into the World Cup. It just kind of aligned in the perfect way because you decided to take a bet on yourself. So I think that's huge. I mean, when you were transitioning into rugby, did you like know how the sport worked? Like, how was that?
Yeah, because my dad is really like he loves rugby. So since I was like maybe 5, he was talking about rugby, and I said,
Okay.
"Dad, I don't like rugby. Like it's not my sport." And I think he would have never imagined like his daughter is gonna work in the rugby industry, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it felt right. Like I used to watch rugby, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I love rugby. No, I loved football. And now it's weird because I still love football and
Yeah.
but I think I'm I'm a huge fan of rugby now. I don't know, it's maybe because I know everyone, like I love the sport because now I really know the sport, not through my
Yeah.
dad, but by myself. And yeah, so
Yeah.
but when I arrived in the rugby world, I don't know, I felt respected. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why also I love rugby because now there is more women in the rugby industry, like
Yeah.
on TV and also so Pia, I was the only one for the World Cup, but there is, in France you have like a club, you have 14 pro club, and in these clubs you have women. Like not all the
Yeah.
Pia are women, but in the club, working for the club, it's more than football. Football, it's like, wow, it's still complicated. They say like in France, they say, oh, it's in 10 years, it's now, it's better, but
Okay.
like it is better. Like it is better, but it's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think it's just my point of view, but
Yeah.
I don't know in America if it's the same.
Um, it's similar to you where they say it's better, and they meaning our country definitely tries. But I mean, I experienced a boys' club when I was in music PR, which is so different from almost every other area of PR. I feel like in the United States, like I was in like fashion and beauty PR. I've done PR for lots of like boutique companies, boutique meaning that they don't have a massive team, but they sell at big stores. And so I've worked in lots of different areas of PR, but I was surprised to see that music PR has a lot of men in it. So like I was the only girl in the agency I worked at. Also could be just my experience. So similarly to you, but I did experience a boys club and there was definitely some prejudice, I would say, like against women. Like it just things that you wouldn't you wouldn't experience if you were a man. Like in my agency in the office, they just expected me to like help them clean up because I'm a woman. I swear they would ask me to like clean up. Hey, Lydia, can you just like take out the garbages or just like clean up around the office? I'm not kidding you. Or like my boss
Right.
would ask me to help him schedule his meetings. Like I just turned into this like hybrid role where I was an admin and I was a full-time publicist. Like I'm not because why do I need to be an office manager because I'm a woman? And it was clear that that was the reason. So without being said, they just kind of pushed me into a more like nurturing role, I guess, in addition. So I think there's lots of different ways that you can kind of feel that women prejudice where whether it be that it's a boys club and they're like, oh, you don't really know sports, or whether it be that you're in the industry or like in the office and they're like, oh, maybe you can help organize like our shelves, like, which is what I experienced. So
So you see,
anyway,
we think it's just in sport, but when you speak, I think it's a bit everywhere. It's
yes,
everywhere. But
correct.
but in sports, you feel it because I was on TV, and you see on TV there is a lot of guys and only one woman or two, but not that much. And
Yeah.
so when you are here, you're like, oh my God, I'm here. And then, okay, I need to stay here. I need to stay here. And all the time you're like struggling between I'm here, but also I need to make my proof, my proof. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
prove your
To
worth.
prove
Yeah.
yourself. prove
Yes,
yourself all the time, more than them at the end. But I don't know, like you said, and maybe nothing happens for no reason, and maybe it didn't work for me because now it's working for me. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right.
but when I was 27, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, it was my dream. And
Yep.
to say to your family, to your friends, also your ego, like you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like I study for that, like. And when I was younger, my dad said, oh my God, it's too complicated to be a sport journalist. Like, you need to be a PR. And I was like, no, I don't want to be a PR. I want to be a sport journalist. And I remember when I was like 5 years ago, and when I told my dad, like, I'm going to be a PR, he said, ah, I told you. I
And you're
said,
like,
no, but it's true. He told me. But
yeah,
anyway, without all this experience, I won't be here today. So,
right.
like, I cried. I was sad after I was like happy, and now I think even if it's complicated to be an entrepreneur, because in France it's really complicated. I think
Yeah,
because I'm in this all the paper and everything. It's like wow,
yeah.
you need to be like strong. So maybe all the things before make me strong to do that today. I don't know. I try to find like some reasons sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. I joke that entrepreneurship is not for the weak. Like, it's going to bring up, I mean, number one, it's just hard to be an entrepreneur and to start out. And if you look at the money and the taxes and all the things, and I know French taxes are way worse than US taxes. I mean, we just have different like financial systems in general. Like our healthcare absolutely sucks. Your healthcare is more, national. Yeah, right. And it's much better, but those things are factored into payments and all these things. So anyway, I just joke it's not for the faint of heart with finances, but also with your self-development and like everything that you experience in your day to day is going to come up in your business. So if you don't feel like a confident person, you're not going to be confident in your job. Or like if you're not great with boundary setting, you're going to have a hard time with clients. And so anything that you experience, it's like, it's going to come up. And so I think entrepreneurship is like the ultimate self-development journey once you go on it, because you see so many things of like, this isn't working because of this. And how do I help change that or navigate that? Speaking of, is there anything in particular that came up for you so far where you're like, ooh, this is something I need to work on?
You talk about boundaries. I think also when you work in a company, you have like
Yeah.
I was in the society, so I
Yes.
was like a boss, then another
Yeah.
boss, and also for me in this job, you need to be quick and take decision like
Yeah.
quick. So when you have to pass by someone else, call someone, send an email, at the end I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I know I'm good at my job. They knew I was good, but it took like 3 years. Like at the end, said, okay, you can do it without texting me. But I don't know. I wanted to feel like more connected to myself, and
Yeah.
also like you said, when you know you are good to something, I mean, maybe I will be back in a huge society after, I don't know, maybe my agency is not going to work. I don't know. Like, but I think when you know, and I don't think I need to be guided now. I know where I want to go. I know where I want to lead my athletes. Like, before, I needed help. Now, I just need my associate, of course, because
Yeah.
without her, no agency. But yeah, you're right. I think it's about boundaries. Now, when it's you, it's your money,
Yes.
your time. I
Yes.
think it's different. Like, and
Yeah.
I see, like, before I didn't know when you have a salary and you want an augmentation, they said, oh, a promotion, sorry. They say, yeah, but you know, it's complicated because it's taxes, and you're like, I don't care. Like, I want my promotion.
Yeah.
But now, when it's your society and you know the taxes, and okay, okay. So now I get also, I understand like I understand when I was a commander, I don't know, like I want a promotion, but they're not gonna give it to me because you know it costs money to now. I learned a lot of stuff I didn't know before.
Yes.
So, but it's a bit scary. It's a bit scary. Like you said, if you're not strong,
Yeah.
The first month, so you like, I remember like a year ago, I was like, oh my God, I have the idea with my associate to have this agency. When you say it to people, it's like, it sounds easy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to be a PR for athletes. So good. And people are, oh my God, it's amazing. But now I am in the process. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Everything seems complicated. Like, the bank account, the fact like now I'm a freelancer, so it's not the same rights. I don't know how it works in US, but in France it's yeah. Like after a month, like I remember 6 months ago, I was, oh my God, I think I'm gonna quit. Like I don't know, I'm gonna quit before I started. And I said, no, no, I need to go. It's also my ego, but like,
Yeah.
and also when I talked to you at the wedding, you were like, oh, it's so good to be a freelancer. Like, it's so good to have your own agency. And I met some people like you in France, and I think they know how I've been through, but also they know, and so they said, okay, it's tough at the beginning,
Yes.
but when you're in it and it's working, it's so good.
Yes.
So
Yes,
can't wait
exactly.
to speak to you in a year and I say, yeah, Lydia, now it's very well, everything is good. Like I'm gonna work in the US with your athletes, maybe one day.
I'm telling you, one day we're gonna collab. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I
Um,
hope so.
that would be so good. But yeah, I mean, at the beginning, it definitely is not easy because you have to do all the foundational pieces, which is like a pain in the ass. It's like figuring it out, understanding, learning, like actually doing it. So there's a lot of extra things that come in. But you also you know that you're good at your job and you know what to do. So when it's outside of like the business building stuff, you know that no matter what, at the end of the day, like you are an asset and you're able to do your job well. So you will do it. I hear you. If you need me ever, you just give me a call and we'll
I
chat.
will give you a call.
Yeah, but it is pretty funny though when people ask me about like the agency. I'm like, "Oh, it's great. It like sounds so easy and nice and people don't understand like the back end. There's no point to explain it anyway. So, unless you've
Think you
been
need
through
to
it.
leave it. You need to leave it because I
Yeah.
remember last year I have a friend of one of my good friend in Paris. She's by herself. She's a freelance. She's doing the same stuff as you.
Yeah.
And when I saw her, she was always happy and everything seems easy. But now I talk with her and I say, and she said to me, I'm not gonna say to you all the bad stuff, but
Yeah.
I think it's like you said before, it's everywhere the same.
Yeah.
But when it's your business, it's your money, your time, and I don't know, like it's not the same. It's
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah.
But I have
And
to say, I'm not gonna be. I'm scared. Like
yeah. Yeah.
every day, I'm a bit scared, but it's the good scared. I don't know how to say that, but like
Yeah.
it's excitement and sometimes like, oh my God, what I am doing. Do you think? Yeah, I think it's a good like because you need to when like I'm sorry when you work for someone you rely on someone.
Yeah.
Now I rely on myself, so sometimes I am doing the right choice, it's the good call, I don't know, but I think now I work and I work with more sorry, I have the word in English, not connection but with the feeling, like
Yes. 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 Your emotions or like emotional
the
connection.
instinct, voilà.
I agree with you. I mean, it is so nice to be able to make the calls. I will say at the beginning of, or like call the shots, I will say at the beginning, I realized that I wasn't relying on myself and listening to myself. I was asking a lot of people for their opinions on things. And my advice to you is do not fall in that trap. You are smart and we know
You
what's
ask
best for us.
sometimes to your friends. I need sometimes. Do you think it's a good
Yeah.
choice? And it's cool because I know a lot of PR, but not in my industry. So I say, yeah, but
Yeah.
they said yes, but I'm not in the sport industry, so I don't know. But it's good to have some advice. And after
Yeah.
you need to like, okay, it's an advice, it's another advice, but at the end, and
Yes.
I will talk to you about that later, you know everything inside you deep down, you have the answer, you just
Yes.
need approval from some friends but at the end it will be your choice, your vision, you just need to be like I call that a little help, but
Yes.
deep down, deep down, it's you, and you know, Lydia, like you did all the work before, and when you want something and you are hesitate, you have a lot of hesitation. Deep down, you have the answer, but you need
Hmm.
someone to, okay, maybe it's this one, maybe this one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about this for a little bit more and then we'll pivot. But I noticed like my big indicator, if I know the answer, but I want somebody else's approval, or like I deep down I know the answer, but I'm like nervous about it for whatever reason, I will go into like this convincing energy where I will talk to a friend and I will convince them of an answer, but it's like not the right answer. I'll be like, well, I this and this because of this, and I think I need to do this because of this, and oh, all of this. And if I'm convincing them, I know I'm supposed to do the opposite. So I once I see that energy come out, I'm like, I know this. I've done this before. We're gonna back up and emotionally sit on it and then
That you
choose the right
ask
one.
make
Yeah.
make you feel good.
Yes.
The fact that you ask, but you know the
Yeah.
answer in when you ask the question.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So anyway, back to like self-development and entrepreneurship. I swear they're the same exact thing. So I want to go back to what we connected on in Buenos Aires because I was so connected to you by just talking about this. I feel like um I didn't know. This might sound ignorant, but I didn't know that like French women, French people in general, I guess because my experience, I haven't really met too many who have had a spiritual side. I just like assumed that a lot of them were like Catholic or, Jewish or whatever it is that their like descent. I feel like a lot of Americans have moved into more of a spiritual mindset than before. I want to say like COVID kind of sparked this. I think a lot of people were trying to seek like some sort of something else, some connection to God, maybe they didn't have before. I like went down a spiritual rabbit hole when I basically like decided that the music industry wasn't for me because I was seeking like what the hell am I supposed to be doing with my life if this isn't it? And so that like sprung an entire whole journey of me like getting to know myself better. So that was my connection to spirituality, but I was like shocked that you were interested in it. So again, it's probably just my experience and not speaking to as many French people as I thought I have. But I would love to know like how you found your connection to spirituality and what that was like for you because I mean, also
Wow.
Alex is like, I know, Alex is like, he's so open to listening to me, but he could care less. He's also like a guy and whatever. So anyway, I just had no idea.
No, you see, I think it's a cliche that you said French, or I think it's everywhere in the world. It depends
Yeah.
how you are connected. And it's me, I'm a Catholic and I believe in God, but it's not because of that I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
Like I think I've always been connected, but more since 2021
Okay.
because I lost my brother. Uh, I lost my brother in April, 4 years ago.
Mm.
And I don't know, since he passed away, I feel very connected to things, connected to him. Maybe it's in my mind, and sometimes it's the fact when you want to do the grief, you need to hold on to something more than believing in God. I don't know. And I went to US. I went to one of my best friends. She's a yoga teacher in Hawaii. And in August 2022, so a year after my brother passed away, I went with her and she's very connected. And I don't know, she said like, I'm gonna take you to a magic waterfall
Yeah.
in Hawaii. I was like, come on, Charlotte, it's not magic. It's just because it's in Hawaii. No, nobody knows. It's not for tourists. It's just for Americans from Hawaii. Okay. Okay. So I went with her and it's true. It was nice, but it was not the best waterfall I saw in my life. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it felt so like, I don't know, something connected to something. And I felt my brother. It was insane.
Wow.
And my friend was just like maybe 30 meters in front of me. And she said, oh, your brother is here. And when I say that to you, it means like I'm crazy. But I remember this day, this sensation since like, I don't know, I felt so connected. And it was the first time I felt my brother since he's passed away. And I don't know, after this trip, I wanted to be more connected to myself. So I went to Nepal and I did a huge hike. I don't know if you know, like there is Everest and there is Annapurna.
Yes.
I did the first base camp. Huh? No worries, I'm not an alpinist. I didn't go to the summit, but I wanted to be more connected, and also I needed to prove something to me. I don't know why and I don't know what, but I wanted to do stuff for myself, not with
Yeah.
friends, not with. I wanted. I think I saw doing that I will be connected to my brother. Anyway, I felt so good, so happy. It was really hard, but at the end, I was with him all the time. And since since then, I'm more connected when I'm abroad. In Paris, it's a bit difficult. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but Paris, it's very stressful. It's not Emily in Paris, like you said. Like it's funny because it's so cliche,
I mean,
and
it's
when
so
you
cheesy.
it is, but when you watch this show, you think, oh my God, it's so nice to live in Paris. Paris, it's amazing. It is, but you don't see the dark side of Paris.
Yeah.
And people are stressful. The subway, it's stressful. The work, like I think it's in the big city in New York, it's the same. London,
Yeah.
it's the same. But I'm not feeling really connected in Paris. But I don't know. So I need to go on trips. I need to travel to feel more connected. And so, yes, that's why after the World Cup, with all the intensity of these fucking crazy 3 years,
Yeah, yeah.
I said, okay, I need to leave. So I went to Bali. Amazing. I went to Australia. I went to New Zealand, to Fiji, to Japan, and then Italy
And this is by yourself.
by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, with just my backpack. And not my suitcase like in Millie in Paris. No, I was no, it was the best. I think the best 3 months of my life after
Wow.
my brother passed away, and I wanted um, to make a vipassana. So I don't know if you know what it is, but it's 10 days without speaking, without reading, without writing, just 10 hours of meditation, 10 hours per day for 10 days. Can become crazy. And in lotus position, without moving, without looking people around you. So in September 2023, I was still at my job, and I said, okay, I need to do, I don't know, I need to do a silence retreat. I didn't know it was a Vipassana, but the movie Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love this movie and I love the book. And like 10 years ago, I was like, one day I will do a retreat silence. And all my friends, you're going to do a retreat silence without speaking? No, not possible. And so I don't know, like in 2023, I knew it was the good call to write an email. So I knew I was going to Australia, New Zealand, like this part of the world. So also, I went on the website of the Vipassana. You can do it everywhere, in America, in France, every country. And I don't know, like, I didn't want to do it in France. I think I wanted to do it like, I don't know, maybe because like I love show and I wanted to say, okay, I did it in New Zealand. It's better. So I write an email, and 10 days after, they said, okay, it's good for you for January 2024. It's fine. And when I received the email, I was, oh my God, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So, yeah, in January, like 14 months ago, I did 10 days of Vipassana, and
Wow.
it was really, really, really intense. So you can ask me question about that if you want.
Yes, lots of questions. Well, number one, I give you a lot of credit for doing all of those trips by yourself because I went to Mexico for like a business retreat slash like wellness retreat a few years ago. And one of the girls I was supposed to stay with, excuse me, I she had messaged me like 2 days prior and said she had COVID, couldn't come. This was like the peak of COVID, everything. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to travel by myself. So I was there for about 4 days by myself and I felt like I was going insane. And so I give you a lot of credit for doing multiple trips by yourself. I think it probably gets easier as you go on and like try new things. I also had never done that before, so I was nervous of like where to go and what to do by myself. And it's like Mexico, so it's a little different. But I give you a lot of credit for doing those trips and traveling because I think traveling by yourself, you need to have a level of like confidence in, going and doing that because you are relying on yourself for everything. It's like when you get to the airport, where are you going? What are you doing? And yeah, it's a bit scary. So give
But
you a lot
also
of
it's the
credit.
best way to know yourself,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think. So sometimes, yeah, I cried. I was like, oh no, I missed my flat,
Yeah.
my flight. Like for little things, but at the end, it's the best trip to do by yourself. I think it's in one time in your life, you need
Yeah.
to do it. Like I think it should be a right for everyone.
Yes.
But I know a lot of people doesn't like a lot of my friends. Oh my God, you are living by yourself. I remember when I was 25, so I was looking for a job for being a journalist, and it was really hard. And I don't know, just after being graduate, I said, okay, I need to leave Paris. I need to go in another country. So I went to Brazil for a year and I lived in Brazil for a year. So, I was 25. I was scared. But after you live 1 year in Brazil, you're not scared about anything. You're not scared about, like now I'm 37. So when I
Yeah.
traveled last year, I was still 35. I wasn't scared. I wasn't going to a strange country like Bali, Australia, New
Right.
Zealand. It's fine. Like, and also one of my best friends lives in Australia, so I wasn't alone in Australia.
Yeah.
So, not so much credit for that.
Still, I'm like, wow, even in Brazil, that's so cool. I love that you're such a big traveler. But when you were in this retreat, how was it like the first few days? Did you feel super antsy? Did it take time to kind of settle into the meditative state? Like, what was the experience, if you can share how you felt?
Yeah, of course. The first 2 days was all right. Like, like I was prepared, like, okay. I remember the day before I
Mhm.
arrived, I was in New Zealand, in Auckland, by myself, walking around the city. I wanted to have a nice restaurant because I knew the food won't be great. So I was like, okay, it's my last dinner. Like, I can talk to my mom on the phone. I can talk to my friends. It's the last time I'm going to talk to them for 10 days. And I don't know, I was walking through Auckland and at some point, like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's tomorrow, oh my God. And I was in the street and I cried like a baby. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. Like, it's like, why am I crazy to do that? Like, why should I want, why, no, what did I say? What, I thought you need to help me with my English, but
Yeah.
what do I want to do that?
Yeah. Why do you want to do that?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't even know. Like I don't know. I don't want to do it anymore. So I was on my WhatsApp and one of my friends who was in France, she did it in England. And I don't know, I said, oh my God, you need to help me. Like, tell me if I want to live in the feast day. It's not a prison. I can live. And she was like, of course, if you not feel okay, you can leave. It's not a prison. It's you choosing to go there.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, okay, you're right. It's my choice. It's my choice. Like, okay, I know what I am doing that. Like the big, the big, like, the big goal of this Vipassana was for me to finish the the grief of my father, of my brother. Sorry, wow, the grief of my brother. So I was like, I need to finish it, and I think it's gonna help me, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So the first day you arrived, I was the only French from France, but yeah, you are like 100 person, 50 guys, 50 girls from 20 to 60 years old. So it's very a large, like everyone from everywhere, Catholics, not Catholics, Buddhists, like you can be whatever you want. Like this is cool because like there is a lot of different people.
Yeah.
But we are all doing the same thing. So the first day, it's fine. Like you said, it's the first day, it's fine. It's 10 hours without your phone, without speaking. It's fine. The second day, you need to work on your breathe. So you are really focused on breathing. So it's fine. It's just the fact like you want to speak to someone. So I mean, girls are looking at each other and you are speaking with eyes. You don't have the right to do that, but like try to not speak for 24 hours. You don't know how you're gonna react. But yeah, after the first days was I don't know, the day I felt bad. I felt like they say in the Vipassana, the first day, the beginning of the Vipassana, I said, I don't understand. I've been here for 3 days before. It's been 30 hours of meditation, and you say it's beginning now. And they say you need to try to not move, not one move for 1 hour. And like that, when I'm saying to you, it seems easy. It's awful, Lydia. Like, you're like that. And you can't move for an hour. Like, of course, if you move, no one is going to do something, but you need to play. It's not a game, but you need to play the rules. And because you don't want to think about the pain you have physically, you are going really deep in your thoughts. So the fifth day was the worst day for me. I was like, oh my God, I became crazy. Like I felt like the work is working, the work of like grief and thinking about how to deal with my life, with my work, with what I want to do. It's now. But it's so scary when it's happening. Like you're like, I don't want that. I just wanted to think about my next travel, like what it's gonna be. I wanted to think about the good stuff. And the fifth day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna stop. Like, but if I leave, like, do I have a car to go to Auckland? Because it was 1 hour north from Auckland. So I had no car, no friends, no phone. So I was like, and no, and you told everyone you're gonna not speak for 10 days. You can't stop right now. It's the middle, like so yeah, the fifth day was awful. And the rest also, but it's so I don't know, for me, it worked. It was so good. Like you realize just after when it's over, and you're gonna relate with me, to don't have your phone for 10 days. You think it's a nightmare, but it's a dream. It's a dream. It's really a dream. And me, I am on Instagram all the time, Facebook, my phone. When you're a PR, you sleep with your phone. So I was like, oh my God. And every night I'm sleeping with Netflix, series, I don't know, like a movie. So I was like every night in bed at 9 because you are awake at 4. And I was like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I can't read, I can't watch a series, I can't text. And you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna live without my phone. And I have to say, I missed my phone on the feast day. I wanted to call my mom. I would say, get me out of here. And I said, you are here now. It was your choice. The work you wanted to do on yourself is working. So you have to continue. So yeah, it's I don't know if I'm clear because it's really hard to explain in English. Even in French, it's hard to explain when people ask me, how was it? Like when you didn't do it, it's really hard to explain. But for me, this 10 days changed my life. Not who I am, but the way I see things, the way I react on things. I'm someone who is really stressed. Like sometimes I speak without thinking before. Like I'm like that. But after that, I was like, oh my God, you need to take time to think, I don't know, to feel, and I don't know, it was amazing. It was one of my best experiences in my life.
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
I think it's so easy to get caught up, especially when you're a driven person in the day to day and the routines. And I get stuck in this weekly and I have to like snap myself out of it and be like, Lydia, you're a fun person. You like to do things for yourself. You like to go outside. You like to, be adventurous. And it's hard, especially as an entrepreneur, it's hard to remember, like, even though building your business is a big thing that you're doing in this life and it's a lot, it's like it doesn't actually matter at the end of the day, which is so funny to think about. Like it matters so much and it also doesn't really matter because like your life is about the experiences that you have, the connections you have with other people, the connection to yourself. And so anyway, I love that you did this because when I went back to going back to when I was talking about entrepreneurship being a self-development journey, you've done so much work on yourself already and know yourself really well. And so you're going to be very successful. I know it. Seriously, I think
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I think you work on yourself all your life.
Yeah.
Like like last week, I was not in a bad mood because like I was scared about paper. I hate paper, bank, and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you need to think. Every problem has solution. You need to
Yeah.
transform the negativity in positivity.
Yeah.
Before my Vipassana, I wasn't like that. I was like, oh my God, it's so stressful. Like,
Yep.
uh, so me, it worked on me. I don't know if it's gonna work on everyone, but I think to put your life on pause, it's what I said, 10 days on pause. It's hard because you don't know anything from the outside. I was scared if my mom, something's happened to my mom, like how can I know she's in France? I'm in New Zealand, I have no phone. It's a bit stressful.
Yeah.
But when you are at I don't know, like the third days, you're like, okay, it's so cool. Like no phone, no sounds, no, like it's not buzzy. You just heard the sound of the birds. Like, it's a
Yeah.
bit cliche.
No.
And after 10 days, like, no,
Yeah.
like I was so happy when they said, you can speak again. And it's strange because at the end, you are with all these women. You didn't speak to her because like you don't have the right,
Yeah.
and you have one day with them without they don't give you your phone back, your computer back, just you need to speak with other girls, and for a day, a long day, you speak a lot.
Yeah.
But I was speaking in English because I met a lot of people from US, from England, from New Zealand. And so I wanted to speak French, but I speak in English. And I don't know, I felt so connected to all these girls. No one has the same stories. No one are here for the same reason. But at the end, you said, oh my God, I did all that with them. So through life, we are connected. And
Yeah.
now I have like one of my really good friends. I met her during the Vipassana. And at the end, we speak all day. And now she's from England. She came to my house in January. We had meditation together. Um, yeah, the the things was really hard after that. It's to continue to meditate because they
Yeah.
said you need to meditate 2 hours a day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not meditate 2 hours a day. Like
Yeah.
of course you can. If you wake up early, if you go to bed later, you always have time if you want. But entrepreneur, Paris, like I try to meditate 30 minutes a day and it's already good. But I think maybe in a year I will do it again.
Yeah.
Like, and you will come with me.
My gosh. I feel like that it's scary. And also I'm like, ooh, I really want to do this. That sounds incredible. Because
Yes.
oh my gosh, I even think about when I meditate, when someone tells you you can't move, your mind starts like creating pain in your body, right? I feel like my lower back, I would be like dying.
It is
Yeah.
like it's funny because yesterday I was speaking about that to my friends because I
Yeah.
knew I was going to speak with you about the Vipassana. And I was comparing about my trek in Nepal, was really hard. It was 12 days. Like I'm not a trekking girl, so it was really hard. Or the
Yeah.
10 days of meditation position. And seriously, I don't know. What was the hardest? Because yeah, the back, your
Yeah.
legs, the fact like you need to be right. Like after
Yeah.
2 hours, you're like that and you're like that. And but at the end, like truly, if you want to work on your mind,
Yeah.
it's working.
Wow.
I mean,
Did
if
you?
you play the rule, it's working.
Yeah. Did you prepare
Yeah.
yourself at all, or did you kind of just like jump into this? You didn't
I
prepare.
jump in. I just have one of my friends who
Yeah.
was working in a big. She was working in Dior in Paris, and she stopped everything to be a life coach, and she's kind of a
Wow.
mentor for me. She did a vipassana like in 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and when she get out, she write an email like, and I did the same, but
Yeah.
she write an email to explain to her parents, her friends, why she did the Vipassana. And when I read his email, it was 2 years ago, I cried. I was like, oh my God, seems so deep, so cool. I want to do it. And she said, okay, Carol, you should do it. You should do it. And I was like, are you sure? Do you think I'm capable of it? Like all the time on my phone, speaking all the time, laughing all the time. And she said, you need to do it. And I think without her, I'm not sure, but now it's funny because 3 months ago, someone like you make a podcast about my story of Vipassana. So we spoke about that for an hour, and I was so scared to share because when you do a podcast, you know you're gonna share to people, and I was like, oh my God, people are gonna judge me. They're gonna think I'm crazy, and I don't know. I had so much like love message, like, oh my God, it's so cool that you did that. And three girls I didn't know, they said, okay, thanks to you, we're gonna do a Vipassana. I was like,
That's so
I'm
beautiful.
not a guru, huh? I'm not and I'm not like the yoga person. I'm
Yeah.
not like that. But I really I really needed to heal myself. And I think
Yeah.
I didn't know it's gonna work, but it worked on me. So yeah. And I think it's another podcast. It's too long. I can tell like it will be an hour or 2 hours, but it's too long.
I think when we decide to be vulnerable and share, it gives other people permission to be vulnerable and share. I think I love that you shared your experience. And I also love that you're not like a yoga girly guru because we're just like regular people, just going through regular life experiences. And if you can share how you were able to heal your grief and process what's going on with somebody else, like that's
Yeah.
so liberating for somebody else to be able to hear that story from somebody who's not like the guru, yogi, whatever, and just say, oh, I'm allowed to do that too. I'm allowed to heal in a way that feels good for me. And I don't need it to look a certain way. And so I, I love that you did that. Number one, I mean, all of our listeners are like wellness girlies. They are like all of them are going to be,
I'm so sorry for my English because when I speak to you, it's fine, but when you know it's a podcast, like I know I'm looking for my word and I'm searching and I'm like, oh my God, it's so, I hope your American listener is going to understand everything I said.
your English is so good. I mean, seriously, if I were to speak any sort of French, it would be a train wreck. Before the podcast, I was like, please just like pronounce your name to me in French because ours are so hard for Americans to say in French. I know it's the same on the other end because our R's are just in a different part of our mouths, like when we say it. But anyway, I hope that I didn't butcher your name and I sounded good while saying it. I thank you so much for coming on this show and this podcast because I love that we can talk about PR and business and life, but also it's so special to be able to just talk about like what we're going through. And thank you for sharing the meditation with us because, again, I think if you're being vulnerable, you can allow others to find the right way to heal that works for them, which is so big.
The way you said it. Yeah, it's really nice. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so cute. I'm so happy. Like,
Me too.
For me, it's complicated because in English, like it's my first time. So I hope in a year I will be like, yeah, Lydia, my first podcast in English was with you, and now it's fine. I can do a lot of podcasts in English, but yeah, it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy because like I know it's recorded. I know like it's I can see myself. So it's but it was cool because with you it felt like a real conversation with friends.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you. That's what we always strive to be, just chatting with our friends, and whoever
Yeah.
resonates can stay.
No, but sometimes, I wanted to be prepared
Yeah.
and, I prepare some stuff, but like it's in front of me and I didn't say a word who was right on the paper. Like nothing. I wanted to tell a lot of stuff like very well written. And at some point, like, I don't know, the discussion was too natural. So it's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll just have to have you back for all the PR stuff. I wanted to talk about image PR and everything, but you know,
It's in another episode.
it'll be in another episode. Well, thank you so much, Caroline. I hope you have a beautiful
Oh,
rest. Thank you. We have a beautiful.
your French is really good.
Stop. I hope you have
Oh.
a beautiful rest of your evening. And thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Visibility Era, the podcast.